What's going on, everybody? Stock Jock here. Up 27.82 in the first hour of trading. I did, however, have a really good day and finished up, as you can see here, 5,213. I did not record that later into the day. I had an insane amount of trades today, though. But we'll go over the ones I did in the first hour. Today was my biggest, or as far as how many trades I took. Let me pull this in the scene so you can see it. I took over 47 buys today and had, more sells because I sold in increments on the way down, but just an insane amount of activity today. Not what I was expecting, but nonetheless, happy to end the day like that. But like I said, the first hour went pretty well. We'll go over those trades. I do want to make you aware that if you're not aware, I do have a Twitch channel now. And for those of you that might not know what Twitch is, it is basically a streaming platform. And I did it all day. Most of the time, it probably is going to be the first hour or two, depending on how many people are watching. But I stream my portfolio live for free on Twitch. The link for that is in the description of this YouTube video. Check it out. If you want to watch my stream, come check it out. I would love if you're a Twitch, if you have a Twitch account, if you'd hit that follow button, it'd be much appreciated. But yeah, I'm going to try to continue to do that. We'll see how, if it starts affecting my trading, obviously I'm going to have to cut it off because, it's great to have, a lot of people watching you succeed, but it's another thing to have a lot of people watching you fail. And there will be fail days. And, but it is a lot of pressure, and I just don't want it to be, I don't want it to have pressure on myself to try to perform, but I do want to use it because I know it helps people in learning. Again, all the trades that I take are for myself. We can talk about setups all day long, but it is there for a tool for you to use. But let's get into the trades. So my first trade, and this is one of the main reasons why I subscribe to a lot of chat rooms, because I was not keeping there's just so many stocks out there. It's impossible to watch everything. Like normally I'm staring at one stock, much less, the thousands of other ones that are out there. Anyway, this one I noticed someone in one of the chat rooms that I follow liked this one, and it was gapping up this morning. So it was kind of on my watch list, but it wasn't one of my main ones to watch. But he was watching it. It was on his one of the main ones to watch. Anyway, it had this dip out of the gates. The gap up was pretty good. So, about a $2 gap. Anyway, out of the gates, it dropped pretty hard. Dropped about, 50 cents. And then immediately popped right back up. So this candlestick, pretty darn bullish. I became aware of it around, I'd say 2 minutes in. So I wasn't watching this. I flip over. I see this candle right here. I see that it, pre-market's in a downtrend. If we break one of these highs, here's a high, here's a high, here's a high. If we broke one of those, it'd be change of direction, kind of like a red to green move. And I took it as such. So, especially with this candlestick, the drop and then immediate bounce back up, follow through. I go long inside this candlestick here, and I'm just looking for a test of this high, which from the pre-market is all I'm looking for. So I go long at 1858, 2,000 shares, right inside this candlestick here. We break this level again, get some follow through with volume, get up into this area, and that's when I start to sell. I sold half at 1892 and the rest at 1882 for about $500. I'm long SPCE. Wow, that took a long time to fill, so don't really like that. Goodness gracious, E-Trade. Sell. Jeez. All right, E-Trade is slow as nuts today. Wow. Amazing. So this next trade was on Tesla, and looking back on it, and this is one of the reasons why I do these videos as well, is that it also helps me, is I I I made a trade but off of wrong information. Let me explain why. So Tesla, for context, does this huge gap up, closed yesterday at like 547, gaps all the way up and opens at 571. Huge gap, right? So last time it did that, it sold off pretty hard out of the open. And we got that. But this was a little different. We got this huge sell off, and then it came all the way back up. A huge bounce. So kind of bullish, whatever. But then we started kind of doing one of these inside this area. And I drew, since I'm a pattern trader, I drew some lines, and I'm probably like, let's see, 946, where's that at? Right in here. So I'm looking at it like this. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So this is the information that I have at the time. 940, 945, whatever. So I'm thinking that, since we just moved back up here, this is a good way to draw this, like so. But it is not the proper way to draw this. This line here is not correct. Yes, we could easily draw this point, this resistance point. We've got 3 points that we can definitely put together for a resistance line. But the support hasn't been, for a wedge anyway, the downtrend hasn't ended. So meaning we haven't made a higher low and we haven't made a higher high. So the downtrend hasn't ended, but I was still drawing it like this, which was incorrect. We didn't have enough information. So anyway, with that said, I went short for the break of what I perceived at the time is a wedge break to the downside. And we did get a bit of a drop. And I was green on it momentarily. I took 5 contracts short, and immediately it bounces back up. And I was thinking maybe if we break down, we break this horizontal level, then we're moving back down here because it gapped up so much, it's ready to fall apart. I ended up losing over $1 on 5 contracts, and thank goodness I only took 5 contracts. And like I said, it was this isn't a low, right? This isn't a local low. It's still part of this downtrend here. You can't draw anything on this bottom side yet. You can put a horizontal here for a low a day. That's about it. And then you kind of create yourself a descending triangle if you wanted to. And you can kind of see that the real way to play it was just wait for the break of this top trend line here. Because as soon as it broke out, it did not turn back for quite some time. It just absolutely went on a monster run. So anyway, bad on me for making kind of a wedge when it really wasn't set to break down unless it broke low a day. But here's that trade. Yeah, looks like a break now. $564. Buy some puts here. Looking for that 564 break. Don't you dare bounce off that level. Look at the bid go up. What the heck? There you go. All right, this is not the flush I was expecting at all. Way too much buying going on here. Yeah. This is going to be a false break to the downside here. Wow. All right, I'm going to cover that. I'm going to look to go long some calls. on that top line break. So again, I'm going off of false information here on this bottom line, and I'm still using it into my next trade. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if it's not going to break down now, does it go up here and break through this top line resistance line? So at 947 right here, we're going candle over candle. Looks like it's building up some steam to break this. I go long, I take 20 contracts because it didn't break down, so I'm assuming it's going to break up. Takes 20 contracts at 1094, right? Right at basically the high here. It doesn't break through. 2 minutes later, I sell as we're going candle under candle. That's my stop loss. It just wasn't ready at that moment. So I sold for a $2,000 loss. No, can't do it. Gotta bail. So finally, Tesla does give me the setup that I was looking for. That first go here, it rejected the move, put it in a higher low though, came back up, and when it did that, I went long on this candle for the candle over candle, and I got stuffed again, and immediately came back down. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" So I was giving it a little bit more time. I went long again, 20 contracts at 1068. Still pretty confident that, or not confident, obviously I'm not confident because I got stopped out twice for losses. But went pop, pull back, candle over candle, I go long, rejects that move, I'm not feeling good. Next candle opens up, and this is kind of an indecision candle, so my stop loss was probably going to be the low of this one. But if it somehow broke out above here, then you've got this resistance line breaking and whatever. And as you can see, it obviously did break that, and we got a decent pop. The implied move was about an $8 move overall. So I did finally get that break. Let's see. I sold at 9:53 a.m. So I sold some here at the VWAP, thinking that was going to offer a little bit of resistance. And I also wanted to lock in some profit because at this point I was, I think, right on the day pretty handedly. So I sold 10 contracts for $1,300-ish right on my first lot at 9:53, and then 9:56 a.m. right in here, there's a horizontal that you can kind of see from the pre-market that I just sold into that resistance right there. And it did offer a little bit of pullback, but then it gave it another go and broke that. But again, I made about 1,800 on the second lot, so that, I think, overall it brought me back to green on the day. And right back down. 564.10. $566.20. Go. Pop. Go. There's the pop. Now, what kind of play does it do? We got a 5-minute candle over candle now. 568.50 first level to watch. VWAP, next level to watch. Breaking VWAP, really? Sold half of those. Just at the VWAP here. So we made a higher high here on the 1 minute anyway, holding the VWAP pretty good. LX ripping today. 59.16 or 69.15. So the question is, can it hold VWAP on this pullback and then give us a candle over candle for continuation? And the next level watch would be this 570. So right now it's still holding the VWAP. Candle over candles. Look, it's not even going to give us a candle again. It's just going to make a new high. So we haven't had that pullback candle yet since breaking this. And there is kind of a resistance line up here at this 570 level, which we just broke through. So if it closes outside, man. So 1 minute oscillator is pretty extended here. I'll probably profit stop out on the first candle under candle. 569.40 is the level I'm watching. All right. Wow. So it was a break and immediate pop. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So it shook me out, but immediately ripped higher. So this looking super strong. This next trade was on Netflix. Actually, I had a small trade on BYND that only took 100 shares, and I lost about $50. So it wasn't a big deal. So I'm not gonna, or $60. I'm not gonna go over it. This one I took 10 contracts short. So this is a little intraday wedge here. Obvious support line. Two areas pretty close together that were resistance. Here we made a lower high, and I just figured specifically if this, since it was down already, this is the line that definitely could have been drawn, right? Support. If it broke, it's 4 times this area. This is 3 times really that this area has been tested. If it broke, it should give a decent push down. So when it broke here, I went short with puts. I just bought the 327 put, 327.50 puts right at the money, and it immediately broke it and bounced. And I was like, okay, well, this could be a false break to the downside. My stop loss was going to be the high of that current 1 minute candle, and I was looking at it like this. So I was going to give a little leeway, but if it did go candle over candle, I would stop out immediately. Took 10 contracts. They cost me $5.15. It does end up grinding lower, not like flushing lower. And I started covering, let's see, 10.06. Yeah, I covered half right at the lower day, so I didn't want to just flush through it. I used it as a bounce level. So I made about 55 cents on the first lot, and the bounce started going candle over candle, or it just bounced too much for my liking. Like, I did not like that at all. Get the low a day, and then it bounced immediately right back up, $1 or $2 bounce. It was silly. So I made 55 cents on the first lot, and what was it, 25 cents on the second lot. So a nice gain nonetheless, but it was the good move to get out when it did something I did not like, because it ended up ripping higher. And I think Mark Cuban came out and said he liked Netflix or something. I don't know, but a decent win nonetheless. But it bounced pretty hard off of this level the first time. 327. Yep, I'm gonna take it this time. Looking for this 50 to break now. It broke and bounced. I want to see this level break now. This needs to go away, and then I'm feeling good. Oh, another bounce in this area. All right, well, I'm gonna have to step out. Lot of support here for some reason. Can we get a freaking close under here? $50. All right, so drop. Oh, this was a bounce. I had many of those. Still the support coming in. I don't like that. There should have been follow through there, and there hasn't been. Whoever wins this $50 fight, freaking bulls, man. This is just like Tesla, but Tesla had gap up. Good news. All right. There we go. Are we pushing lower now? There it is. Jeez. Now, low days in range. Right there. So 325.68. $2 move. I'm gonna cover half, because this formation implied a move to here, and we got that. So nice bounce off of there. It probably goes up. I'm just gonna cover the rest. So I had a couple trades before the one that I'm about to go over. I'm going to go over this Tesla play. There was a low float EYPT that I think it was a news play if I'm not mistaken, and basically break even. I lost a couple cents on it, and before that, I did buy a way out of the money $600 call on Tesla, just one contract that I'll sell later for over like I think it was 110% winner, but you'll see that later. Maybe I don't even know if I covered it or not. But the play I'm going over is right here. So looking at it like this, Tesla had this nice run up, pull back, candle over candle, pull back again, and it started to create this like couple ways it's kind of like an ABCD pattern, right? A B C, little 1 minute ABCD pattern, but I think I probably was looking at it more like a wedge, just to see where the next move goes, and being in now a bullish uptrend, I would have thought to break to the upside. So when it did, I went long with contracts. I got in at 1276. I sold some when I got to the top of the Bollinger Band here. I sold half it, so about a 35 cent win here on the first lot. So I sold a minute later, and then as it started coming right back down and going candle under candle of this candle, I sold the rest for actual loss. So what is this? 35-cent win on the first half, 25-cent loser on the second half, plus 10. One minute's trying to come. Oh yeah, 1 minute's crossed the upside now. 574. Taking it long, looking for a break of this line here. If it doesn't go, I'm out immediately. 38.43. Okay, there's the break. It needs to keep going. Needs to break 575. Broke it. There we go. 60. High day. Gravy cakes. This is 576. Good volume on this break. Came right back in. Don't like that. I'm out. Did they even make money on that trade? Jeez. So these next trades, I'm not even. It goes on for too long, so I'm not really going to run the live trade of it, but we'll just go over what I was seeing. So looking at this chart here, we had a local low here, we had a local low here, and obviously the low at day. So you can kind of connect all these. We had a nice support line, right? Downtrend, change of direction, we've got an uptrend, so local low. Downtrend, change of direction, uptrend, local low. We have a nice support line. The resistance line wasn't too clear, and I actually, which I don't like doing, but in this case it worked, I used pre-market. So you can kind of see there was a double top here pre-market, which coincided with high day here. So what I did, and it may or may have been right or wrong, I kind of did one of these. So it gives us an ascending triangle, and I was thinking to myself, all right, well, if this line breaks, we might get a decent pop, right? Especially with 1, 2, 3 tests of this resistance line, maybe we'll get a pop. So what I was looking for here, and it was looking like this, is downtrend, looking for a change of direction. Okay, we got a higher high now, so this is signifying a change of direction. So we got a pop, change of direction, Now we're going up instead of down. This is down. Now we're going up. And what I mean by is this high is higher than this high. So it's a higher high, change of direction. See how this high is lower than this high? Is the downtrend. This high is higher than the previous hump, stair step, so to speak. So change of direction. So now I'm looking for, so this is signifying a pop. Here's our pullback, and I go candle over candle for an entry. What I was initially doing is just looking for a move up into this area to sell. So I bought 10 contracts at 12:20 right here at 10:34 a.m. 3 minutes later, I sell 5 of them for $3 and $3.06 win, so like $1,500 profit. I sold 5. 3 minutes later, 1, 2, 3. So just, why did I exit here? I believe it was a horizontal resistance level from pre-market, just right here. I just thought, first time we get up into this area, we are going to find some resistance. So I sold 5 contracts up in here. So this is at this 37 level. It does kind of continue up a little bit more. Let me zoom in. Here we are. Okay. Pop, 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 pop. So higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, pullback candle, right? Doesn't make a higher high. Pullback candle. Let's see. I didn't do anything here. It was on the 43 candle that I thought. So we had a failed 1 minute candle over candle. We had a 1 minute. Pop, pullback, candle over candle, fail. So then it goes candle under candle, pops right back up. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe you just needed to go sideways here and let the upper Bollinger Band expand so this can run up into this level. So I add back right here. Oops. Hopefully that didn't screw me up. Yep, sure did. I add back those 5 I just sold. Oops. In this area at 943. It doesn't break this level, moves back down, goes candle under candle. I sell them, which I'm first in, first out. So I'm actually selling the remainder of this buy, and I now have a cost basis of this of $13.90. So I actually sold for profit, but I'm down, whatever. So sold at $13.40. I then buy back more at 14 at 47. Let's see what I'm looking at here. For a test of this level again, we break it. It does not go anywhere. A little false break. It immediately turns around on me. It starts coming back down. When I see the false break, I sell again for a loss. So it's kind of gets a little convoluted here because I'm selling 5 of these and let's see, whatever. Needless to say, I sold for a loss, but then 5 more I sold for a profit. It was just kind of, my average is kind of all jacked up because I'm all over the place here. But needless to say, most of the earnings came from this pop, and then I lost some and gained some sideways, whatever, gave some back through here. But I won't go through that trade just because it's too hard to clip all that together. And this video is already getting a little too long. But nonetheless, this pop, I believe, is the last one that I had on video anyway, and it got me. The main thing that set it off is just kind of knowing where the support was, knowing where, taking into account pre-market, and you know what, it might not have had anything to do with this, and all I had to do with breaking high day, But I think it was a little bit more than just high day, because we did have a point back in pre-market that actually kind of worked. Gave us a little ascending triangle, gave us a pop, and then it absolutely went nuts over here, but this was news. Doug Cass came out and said that a hedge fund got liquidated today. A large hedge fund got liquidated today and shut down because of the short squeeze that's going on in Tesla. And they're probably not the only ones. So anyway, good morning for sure. Like I said, finished over 5,200 today after a long day of trading. I mean, look at all these trades. It's ridiculous. It traded Tesla most of the day. Boeing had some crazy news come out. Played this pop. Here's the news pop. The CEO talking, gave it all back. Whatever. It was just a crazy day. Lots to play. Very happy with how it worked out. And if you have any, if you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. You are working real hard to study, and pat yourself on the back. Hopefully it was helpful. And like I said, if you're interested in my training style, you can find me in 2 places now. Number 1 is on Twitch with the link down below, and the other one is obviously in my free Discord chat room. All right, I will see you all in the next video.